The Niners hope it's seventh heaven against the Ravens, while the Cowboys try to get back on track in Miami versus the Dolphins. Hey everyone, welcome into another NFL Breakdown. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Postmedia sports betting columnist Don Brennan and Toronto Sun NFL writer Dan Bilicki. Time to get there against the spread picks for week number 16. Hard to believe it, guys. Only a couple weeks left in the regular season. But Don, we'll begin with you. The Niners looking to make it 7 wins in a row as they face off against the Ravens, who have also put together a nice win streak here with 4 straight. Someone's streak is coming to an end. San Fran, a 5.5-point home favorite. Which side do you like in this?
Well, I think it's pretty neat how it's all come together on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, that the top 2 teams in football are meeting, and to wrap up week 16, potentially a Super Bowl preview. And I think also I think the MVP is going to come from this game eventually. I think that the thing is, San Fran has 2 candidates in Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, whereas Lamar Jackson is the Ravens representative, or they're hoping to winning the MVP there. So going into this game, I think that, at first I looked at that spread and I thought, oh boy, that's big, maybe looking at the underdog here. But, San Francisco is just so good. They have it on both sides of the ball. I'm tired of looking at a possible backdoor cover or somebody to come in and cover the spread against them. They just have it all. They're going to take advantage of Baltimore's one weakness on defense is their corner coverage, and they're going to take advantage of that with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. And there's, like I said, McCaffrey's just going to run the ball right down the Ravens' throat. So I not only like the Ravens or the 49ers to win this game, but also to cover.
All right, Dan, your Cowboys had their win streak come to an end last week. They'll try to start another one this week against the Dolphins in Miami. The Fins 1.5-point home favorites. Who do you like?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get back on that right track. The weather may be a lot better in South Florida than it was in Buffalo last week for the Cowboys, but a road game is a road game, and that's where they've struggled. They have a 3-4 record straight up on the road this season. They're going to be dusty without Zach Martin, like one of the best guards in the game. And that's bad news because the Dolphins pass rush will be right on him. On the other side of the ball, Dallas will be missing their key run stopper, Jonathan Hankins. And after watching the Bills rack up 266 rushing yards last week, I think the Dolphins could do similar. Tyreek Hill was back in practice today, and even if he's playing or not, I think the Dolphins can really do some damage in this game.
Meanwhile, Don, the Jaguars in desperate need of a win, having lost 3 in a row. They're now tied for the division lead with both the Colts and Texans with 8-6 records. They will visit the Bucs, who are 2.5-point favorites at home in Tampa Bay. Can Jacksonville right the ship this week?
It's funny that we're talking about a game between Jacksonville and Tampa, and I don't know why I say that. I just find it a little funny. It's not normally a marquee game, I guess, but, you have 2 teams, and Tampa also is tied for first place with the Saints in their division. So the difference between these 2 teams now is Tampa's going one way. They've won 3 in a row, where everything's sort of fallen apart for Jacksonville. They've lost 3 straight games, and now Trevor Lawrence, still in concussion protocol. I'm pretty sure he didn't practice today. Doesn't look like he's playing. Looks like C.J. Beathard will be the guy making his 11th start of his career, his first since 2021. And you might think that he could have a chance to take advantage of a weak Jacksonville pass defense, but Tampa's got a pretty weak pass defense themselves, or the other way around. Both teams, there should be a lot of yards gained through the air is what I'm trying to say here. And I like the way the Baker Mayfield is going, just coming off a career game, over 380 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Packers last week. And Chris Godwin is now emerging from the dust. He sort of was in the shadows for a while, but he had 155 yards last week. Mike Evans is always a threat. I just like the way the Tampa is sort of coming together. And I like also that they have a running game now. Rashad White used to be a bit of a running gag. Like, who is this guy? He's not getting anything done, but 4 straight games over 80 yards now. Whereas the Jacksonville running game, Travis Etienne, has been over 80 yards twice this year. He's a threat coming out of the backfield, catching passes. But again, I think there's an edge now to Tampa in the running game as well. All in all, I like Tampa in this game to cover and to win the game.
Yeah, definitely a lot of reasons to like the Bucs this week. Finally, Dan, the Lions got back in the win column a week ago. They'll now face their divisional rivals from Minnesota as 3-point road favorites. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, my general rule of thumb is that if the Vikings are getting a field goal or more, you got to take them. 5 of their past 6 games have been decided by 3 points or less, and in the other game, they won by 8 over the Saints. Lions quarterback Jared Goff is He's been far less efficient on the road than he has at home, not just this season, but throughout his career. Minnesota has Justin Jefferson back, and he's looking great. And Ty Chandler has really provided some electricity in the running game with Alexander Madison banged up. At the very least, this should be a close one. So I'll take the points, and I look forward to the rematch in 2 weeks.
All right, we'll see how it all shakes down for week number 16. As always, let us know what you're betting on in the comments section below. For all of Don and Dan's NFL picks, head to the Toronto Sun.